Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. The Australian dollar dipped slightly on Monday but continues to hold above the key level of 66 cents as all eyes still appear to be holding to that topside target of 66.5 to 67. While also attention now turns to Tuesday's RBA decision. The Australian Central Bank is expected to keep the cash rate on hold at 3.6% with no new forecast, focusing on the statement and along with Governor Bullock's tone. Recent upside surprises in inflation and Michelle Bullock's remarks about a still tight labour market keep the risk skewed towards a hawkish shift if price pressures prove sticky. Turning to the technicals though, the momentum has been holding well, which was sparked from the lows of 64 cents from a firmer CPI and now sees the pair testing the upside, as I mentioned, towards 66.5 to 67. As I mentioned, all eyes at 2:30 today on the RBA rate decision. Turning to the euro, the market was a little bit mixed after Monday's session as the US dollar rebounded off the lows, with the DXY climbing from 98.80 to 99.20. Looking ahead to Wednesday, Thursday, Sydney time, markets expect a 25 base point rate cut from the FOMC, while the ECB central bank that is set to hold steady later this month, keeping policy divergence tilted in the euro's favour despite near-term softness. So looking at the technicals, the RSI has pulled out from the overbought conditions and sits at the midway point. A perfect level to see if we can get a rebound and look back towards that top side with the call still holding at 117.15.25. Support seen around 116.20 and firmer at 115.85. A break there, well, we might need to reassess our outlook just in case we see further losses. Dollar yen attempting to recover after its recent bearishness. Overall, though, since the break of this rising wedge was resistance once now support, and keeping underneath this level could see further losses, and that is down towards 155.5, and with the call still holding for another 100-point drop to around 154.25.45 and reassess. Resistance is expected to hold around 156.10.20. Sterling also a little bit on the consolidation side, but overall still maintaining above 133. If we can see further gains, then I look towards 133.70 and then on to 134.25. But do be aware that we could see a bit of profit taking as recently seen back here in October. A weaker play when it comes to gold, but you can see there's been many dojis of indecisiveness as the market doesn't play to new money on the table, so to speak, as traders look to the Fed's rate decision. Overall, though, if we do get somewhat hawkish statement, then we might see a bit of pressure to the downside and profit taking coming back. But keep an eye on this trend. As long as we maintain around that 4,176 level, then we may see a bounce holding towards that top side around 4,250 and on to 4,300. Wrapping up with oil, a bit of profit taking also came into play here as the market backs away from the $60 mark and now looking to the support at 58. 55, 65. Let's see if we can get a bounce from this trend line and look back towards 60.5 to 62. But that's a wrap. Thank you for joining me. And as always, look out for the intraday report. I hope you enjoyed a great start to the day.